Good day. In this project we are evaluating different pruning wound products for apple nursery trees. The objectives within this project include evaluating in vitro different fungicides, which I reported on at last year's research showcase. And then we also did field trials at nurseries, applying different treatments and allowing natural infection to happen. And this I will not report on today. And the aspect that I will report on today was looking at evaluating the different treatments on rootstock pruning wounds and challenging those wounds with a pathogen. The treatments included traditional pruning wound sealants, also a trichoderma suspension, two different applications of that, and then also fungicides and a water control. Plants of M793 were cut back in springtime, and this was done at our facility at Stellenbosch University in crates. The different treatments were applied to the pruning wound that was made in the same morning, and then either one day or 7 days afterwards the pathogen was applied to the pruning wound. These trees were left to grow for 3 months, and the pruning stub were harvested and isolations were made from the pruning stub to determine how effective the different pruning wound treatments prevented the pathogen infection. This graph shows the re-isolation percentages of the pathogen after 1 day of application. So from this data we can see that several of the applications were not different from the water control, showing that they were inefficient to prevent infection of the pathogen. Several of the products proved to be quite well, including MT1, that is a trichoderma isolate that is resistant towards carbendazim, prochloraz, Nucil Plus, and ABE tree seal. They all are in the category that showed to work the best. With then carbendazim and MT1 with carbendazim showing the best results with the highest inhibition, preventing the infection of the pathogen. When looking at the results of application of the pathogen 7 days after the treatment, we see more of the treatments being effective, and that can also be due to the natural hardening off of the pruning wounds. So the products that were not significantly different from the water application is illustrated here in red. Those that prove to be quite good in inhibiting infection of the pathogen include the block in blue. And the best performers include the MT1 with carbendazim alone, Nucil Plus, prochloraz, and ABE tree seal. To conclude, these artificial inoculation trials shows us which of the pruning wound protectants are definitely working better than others. Carbendazim and also the trichoderma resistant isolate MT1 with carbendazim gave the highest inhibition, preventing infection of the pruning wound. Our traditional standard in industry ABE tree seal inhibited infections by 68% after 1 day and 86% after 7 days. Even though this is quite high levels of inhibition, the products Nucil Plus, the fungicides prochloraz and carbendazim, and then also the carbendazim plus the MT1 gave higher levels of inhibition. And this can give us a good indication of what products to explore in the future.